So welcome to the first AA meeting. So this is a safe place, so please be honest. So let's just go around the room and introduce ourselves, shall we? We'll start here on my left.
Hello, my name is Arnold.
Hello, Arnold. Okay, and then welcome. And we'll go along the line here.
Get out of town. My name is Arnold.
Hi, Arnold. Hello, Arnold.
Okay, and welcome, Arnold. Okay, and next.
I am also Arnold.
Hello, Arnold. Hello, Arnold.
Great, well, good to see everyone. Well, let's get started with our first Arnolds Anonymous meeting. So, tell me, how has this affected your lives? Arnold, would you like to go first?
Okay,
Yes,
well,
I would like to go first.
No, I think she was
Thank
speaking.
you.
No, she's speaking with me.
So,
My name
You're
is
talking
Arnold.
to me.
But I'm Arnold too.
But I am Arnold, so I think she was
Okay,
speaking
well,
by
we
name
need to-
because it is Arnold.
We need to keep this one at a time. Let's start with this first Arnold right here.
Alright, well, I had a baby. He was in my tummy. His name was Junior. Me and my brother conceived him. He's my twin, Danny DeVito. I know it sounds weird, but it happened through DNA.
Okay, well, that's...
It was science. It was all made through science.
Okay, so let's start with our second Arnold over here.
I'm first where it counts. Get out of here. So my wife, she got a cold. So I cryogenically froze her until the cure for the common cold is out. Then I realized that was the wrong thing to do.
Why do you have a freeze gun in your lap? What is that?
Why don't you have a freeze gun in your lap?
Because I don't use ice things to make... What? Why?
That means you're a lesser Arnold. You
No.
girly man.
I am the manlier Arnold because I could bear a child. You try and bear a child there.
Women bear childs. Men make child.
You look more like the ice cream man than you do Arnold. I look more like Arnold.
We killed the dinosaurs. Me, you idiot.
Okay, well, let's try to keep this, we have to respect each other and just let each
But
other...
this is a lesser Arnold.
No, there's no lesser Arnolds here. We are all equal Arnolds.
I am a more equal Arnold.
No, we are all equal Arnolds, and we need to let each speak
I am
one
the
at
most
a time.
equal of all Arnolds.
No.
I looked in the mirror this morning and I asked myself, are you the most equal of all Arnolds? And I said yes, so it is true.
That's because I was not there. The real Arnold.
We are all real Arnolds here, okay? So, what happened to bring you here? Like, what was the big thing that said, I think I might need help? You, sir?
Well, I lost my baby Junior, you see. And then I had to get him a toy. It was Ultraman, and it was in Jingle All the Way. Sinbad.
Okay.
I feel your pain.
Okay, I see the pain in your face as well. Can you explain what happened to bring you here?
The other day, it was hot out, so I went to the freezer. And guess what? My wife was in there. Why was she there? Because I put her there. God damn it! I'm a fool. Who's going to make my sandwiches now? Yeah!
Get to the freezer.
Well, there is a nice freezer section at the grocery store.
Get out of town.
There is, yes. And there's wonderful things for the microwave nowadays. So thanks for sharing. And next, what would you like to share with us today?
I was sent back in time to kill Sarah Connor, and then I was sent back in time again to kill John Connor, to protect John Connor, to kill John Connor. I'm so confused.
Okay, so what really happened to bring you here? Like, what was the last thing, that made you feel that you needed help?
When it cost me my clothes, my boots, and my motorcycle.
Hey, this is JPar, and you are listening to the We Promise Nothing show. Today on the show, we have Myles and we have Clayton. But before we get into the show today, the music you're listening to right now has been brought to you by SoundsLikeAnEarful.com. If you need great music for your podcast, check them out. SoundsLikeAnEarful.com. Today we are going to review Terminator. That's right, the 1984 classic starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. But before we get into that, introduce yourself, folks.
This is Arnold. I mean Myles, sorry.
He's also Arnold. I mean JPar.
I'm also Arnold, kind of.
Wait, you do not sound like an Arnold.
You sound like a girly man.
You sound like a girly girl.
You've been pushing too many pencils.
Alright, so this is going to be a really hard one.
I'm the silent Arnold from Hercules in New York.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. So this is going to be really hard to do without doing a million and one Arnold impersonations. I think it's the first Arnold Schwarzenegger movie we've reviewed on the show. Is that...
Get out of town.
No way! Yeah, I think it is. And today on the fact check, we have Dabu.
Hey-o.
Everyone give him a round of applause for Dabu. He is a lesser Arnold, but he's here to help us. Alright, so...
I thought he was Scottish.
That was a backhanded compliment.
Yeah. Hey!
Get out of town! Get down! So, we are reviewing Terminator 1984, rated R. It is action sci-fi thriller, released by director James Cameron, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator, Michael Bean, whatever, he's called Reese, he's that guy, and Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor. And other people.
Yeah, other
And
people.
fodder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, except for Dr. Silverman there. I can't remember his name, but... Dr. Silverman.
There you go.
Paging Dr. Silverman.
Alright, so here's your facts and trivia. Here's your facts and trivia presented to you by imdb.com. So the beginning of production was postponed for 9 months due to Arnold Schwarzenegger's commitment to Conan the Destroyer in 1984. During this time, which is not the good Conan, James Cameron wanted to be working but didn't have the time to do whole other films, so he took a writing assignment. This turned out to be Aliens, 1986. Near the beginning of the movie, when Sarah Connor, played by Linda Hamilton, receives a message on her answering machine, breaking her date, the voice on the machine is James Cameron's. Years later, Hamilton and Cameron got married and subsequently divorced. Now here's an odd one.
Wow.
O.J. Simpson was considered for the Terminator, but the producers feared he was, quote-unquote, too nice to be taken seriously as a cold-blooded killer. In 1990, before Simpson's trial, Dark Horse Comics printed issues using his likeness.
Yep. And he looks cool as the Terminator, actually. I mean, I'm not an OJ sympathizer, but he does look cool.
In the comics.
In the comics, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Not now.
All right. Right. Arnold, no, because he's behind bars, that's why.
Well, released.
Oh, well, Arnold Schwarzenegger's famous debut line, "I'll be back," was originally scripted as "I'll come back." So it's pretty, I'm glad it was "I'll be back," and then we'll get into details. It's just wait, folks, just wait. James Cameron got the idea of giving Arnold Schwarzenegger even less lines than the film Conan the Barbarian, which came out in 1982. He only had 24 lines in that movie, and in this film he only has 14. Arnold Schwarzenegger originally wanted to play Kyle Reese, which is the good guy, the human sent back from the future. But James Cameron had a different idea and saw Schwarzenegger in the title role of the Terminator. And Cameron said to Schwarzenegger, "This movie is not about the hero, it's about the Terminator." The puppet of Arnold Schwarzenegger's face took 6 months to create.
What a train wreck. My gosh.
We'll get into that a little bit. And last one, James Cameron's original idea was that Skynet would send 2 Terminators at once. One would be a cyborg, while the other would consist of liquid metal and was able to shapeshift. Cameron realized early on that the latter effect could not be realized because the special effects at the time would not allow him to do so, so he abandoned it. And when he was able to do it with CGI special effects, he did it in The Abyss, and then later on used it the way he wanted to see it in Terminator 2 Judgment Day. So that's it for the facts and trivia for IMDb. The way we break it down here, folks, is we're going to get into the review. We're not going to give too many spoilers away. And after we give you our review and why we've gotten there, we're going to give you a chance to, before we flip into Spoiler Town, so you can watch that movie, come back and listen to us. You guys excited?
Yes. Yay.
Everybody say yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Myles, start us off. First impressions of... this is kind of odd because you said Terminator 2 is your favorite movie, or that's a movie you would give 5 stars to.
Yes.
But you've never seen the original Terminator.
No, I started with Terminator
What
2.
the heck?
Yeah, I started with Terminator 2, loved it. Then I went Terminator 3, thought, oh no, it's happening. I didn't watch Terminator Genesis, I think is the latest one.
The new one, yeah.
I did watch Terminator Salvation, and I enjoyed that movie, but I never watched Terminator 1, so yeah, I kind of went back in time?
Ooh.
Question mark?
Now you're as confused as the Terminators.
No, well, it's cool seeing how things got started. I don't want to get into too many spoilers, but you can see where they picked up from, where Terminator 2 started. So that was pretty cool to see. First impressions, it had some pretty cool special effects. I liked when they flip-flopped between the future and the present. The way they did it.
I think the future scenes are some of my favorite scenes.
There were some of my favorite scenes too, and I kind of wanted a little bit more of that because that gave us the story of Kyle Reese, one of the main characters.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know.
The
that was
other
pretty
protagonist aside from Linda Hamilton.
Cool. And Terminator was pretty intimidating. I can see why James Cameron wouldn't want him to be Kyle Reese because
the Terminator would have got his ass kicked.
exactly. Well, picture it the other way around. Kyle Reese is the Terminator.
Yeah,
exactly,
I can't
right?
picture
Who's
that.
bigger than Arnold?
back.
Yeah, Arnold would
Who
throw him
cares?
50 feet, and then, 5 minutes later, he'd show up again. Oh, I'll throw him another 50 feet, and that's the movie. So
He could give that super intense toothy yell there. I'll be back, and Schwarzenegger would just. Be
Oh
like,
my God.
I don't care.
That actor's God. We're gonna get into that. Clayton, first impressions. Did you see it before Terminator 2 or after?
I honestly can't even. No, I think I actually saw Terminator 2 as well. Because
First.
Terminator, because Terminator, the first movie, was the coolest movie that I was not allowed to watch when I was 5 years old. Because that's when it came out, right? 84, so 79, so 5 years
I was
old,
watching
right?
He-Man, the Masters of the Universe at
Yeah,
that time.
right? Still in cartoons, pooping my pants, And I wasn't allowed to watch
I
it,
wasn't
but then
pooping
by
my
the
pants
time,
at that time. But
Wait,
Well, I wasn't pooping your pants either, but by that time, by the time Terminator 2 came out, then I was allowed to start watching those kind of movies.
and you stopped
and-
pooping your pants.
And I just stopped that last week.
Well,
okay.
gross.
It's been a bit. It's been
So
a
that's
bit,
what that smell was all these weeks before.
been a
Better
big
late than
year
never.
for me. But
I pooped myself.
It's a big year for Clayton.
2017 is my year.
I was potty trained, Mom.
He's a big boy now.
Okay. No, food jokes.
Last one.
Okay, so I got to watch the second one first as well, and then when I did watch the first one, it seemed simpler. The jacket wasn't as cool. The motorbike wasn't.
No,
as
it wasn't
cool.
as cool.
But
This one was more punk and the other one was more heavy metal.
Yeah, exactly, and it still wasn't hard to take Schwarzenegger seriously because he was still a massive superstar when I saw it. I must have been 13, 14.
Well, I mean...
It was still a cool movie, and I mean, it dovetails nice into part 2, but there are definitely a couple of things that,
All right, well, we're going to...
there are things.
And for me, I saw this movie after I saw Terminator 2, and it's like, I mean, who didn't see Terminator 2 when it came out? And when you saw it, it was just like, holy shit, what a fucking movie, right? So you got to go back and you got to see. So people are like, all right, you got to watch the original, and then you're like, wow, it's gonna be just a crappy version of this one. They're like, yeah,
Pretty much.
I'm like, all right, see you watch it. And it kind of is. It kind of is. It's still good. There's still a lot of good effects. But, yeah, we'll get into our rating in just a bit. And before we get into that, I'd like to give a big thank you to Al Alone, who recommended the Terminator for us today. He recommended it on Twitter. And if you want to do the same, you can. All you gotta do is go on to Twitter and follow us. We promise nothing. Drop the G. You could leave a request there. Or you can leave a request below here on YouTube. And if you're following us or you're subscribed to us, we'll be happy to do your request. Also, big thanks to Kathy, who helped with the skit today. Alright, so let's get into the ratings. Myles, what are you going to rate this and why without spoilers?
I'm going to rate it a 3. The reason why is it kept my interest, but at the same time there was issues, I guess. I like the ideas that were in the movie. They were pretty cool, and you could see where they like jumped off from into Terminator 2. There was a lot of story that needed to be told that I didn't get enough from this movie. That Terminator 2 kind of did it for me. So maybe if I watched this movie first, it would have been higher of a rating, but because I watched it last, and the special effects were kind of lacking, the story was kind of lacking, some of the characters were, you can literally throw them away and you'd still have the same movie, maybe a better movie. But yeah, it's watchable. And it does keep your interest because the action, when the action picks up, it's good.
Yeah.
When it slows down and you start noticing
slow.
things, and it's really slow, so it kind of did. Whereas Terminator 2, it just kept you on the edge of your seat, and when it was slow, it had comedy. Like the John Connor Terminator banter was hilarious in Terminator 2, but there was none of that.
Chill out, dickwad.
Yeah, there was more creepy,
Put your leg down.
creepy stuff that happened when it slowed down. It was, you could really pick it out. You could really cut the creepiness with a knife. It was so thick.
Especially that actor who plays Kyle Reese. He is
Michael
a
Biehn.
creep.
Yeah,
Cringe-worthy.
Mr.
He
Bean.
is very, very cringy. All right, go ahead, Clayton.
Okay, what am I? Oh, I'm saying my rating? Okay.
Yeah.
So I saw it. I did see Terminator a long time ago. Like, I did see it fairly soon after I saw Terminator 2. So I have to rate it a little bit higher than Myles at 3.5. Because I can't go 3.25 or 3.75. But
You could if you wrote it down.
The thing is about this movie.
What is the thing? Please tell me.
The thing is the thing. The thing about this movie is that I'm thinking about it from back when I saw it when I was a lot younger.
Yeah.
So the special effects now, well, they're not super good. But way back then when I first saw it, they were a lot closer. Like the parity between the special effects were a lot closer between Terminator 2 and Terminator 1 than they are now. You'd look at them now and be like, what is this crap? This is garbage. But it's actually not. And the story is good. They tried to keep the whole time travel thing fairly simple. And Myles is right. Every time they slowed down and they took you out of the action and they tried to either extrapolate on the time travel story or they tried to dig into some of the characters' backstories, the movie just slows down to a crawl. And there's some cringe-worthy acting in there. But 3.5 because it's still Arnold, it's still a Terminator movie, and it gave us the second one, so thank God for that.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I kind of want to give it a 3.5 for the same reason, but I mean, as a movie, it's a 3. But because it gave us that backstory, and because chill out, sir. I look at that face.
Kingsglaive.
No.
Oh.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, as a video game.
No, you're saying, oh, as a movie.
Okay,
No,
so
listen.
we got his rating 3.0.
Listen. No. It's a 3, but it deserves more credits than that because it's broke something, like it's the first of its kind.
Yeah.
So it does have the backstory. So it gets the 0.5 for that and James Cameron's direction. If it wasn't for those two things, that's why it gets the extra 0.5. So it is going to go 3.5. That's what I'm sticking with. And like I said, that's why I'm giving it that. The reason it's not so good is because when it's slow and it's boring. But there's effects here that are that are good. And it's like something that they're great.
They're good.
They're really good, guys.
They are satisfactory.
Yeah.
They're just
They
a
are
little
normal.
Bit,
Okay,
they are pretty okay.
The future scenes are done really well, and for that time, that animatronic Arnold, that's top of the line back then. You know what I mean? Why are you guys like?
It depends on which one you're talking about.
Yeah,
like,
maybe we'll wait.
Spoiler
We'll talk
town,
about
but
that in
yeah,
Spoiler
we'll get
Town.
into that.
It started a franchise, so I mean, there's definitely something there. There was a backstory, but it was a good number one. If they didn't make like a whole franchise out of it, maybe this would just be sitting at a 3. But it's, and you could also say the same. I mean, Terminator 2 was so good, you could like rate this one so low because Terminator 2 just does it better. But once again, without Terminator, there is no Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
This one sets Terminator 2 up, and then it's just a slow, dirty slide into hell from there.
All right, so we're gonna flip into Spoiler Town now, and we're gonna dig into this. We're gonna tell you what we really think about this movie. Why is it good? Why is it bad? What's the best? What's the worst? And we're gonna start you off, Myles.
Okay. Oh. Hello there.
I can't believe that. Ooh.
Anyways, so the best for me has to start when Arnold goes up to the cop station and asks the guy,
I'm here to see Sarah Connor.
you can't do that, sir.
I'll be back.
That was the first I'll be back.
Yeah.
He leaves. You know exactly what he's going to fucking do. You hear the car start, and they're still showing the guy behind in the reception booth, and then he just drives it into the reception booth, and then bang, bang, boom, starts killing off people. I lost count at like 12, because at one point the cop says there's 30 cops here. He'd have to be stupid to try to attack you in a cop station. Well, what does he fucking do? He kills everybody.
Well, yeah, because he's a Terminator.
Lance Henriksen.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Lance Henriksen was one of the cops, and he kept getting interrupted. He's about to tell his story, and I guess he was supposed to be comic relief, and it just did not work. And I was so happy when Arnold just kills them. He's just walking through. They became the fodder, and it's just like, okay, good, because, my God, they gave us nothing. Those two cops were so stupid. I couldn't handle them.
He got shot. I was like, Bishop, no!
I was like, Bishop, yes! So yeah, the best for me had to be the action starting from that point, and some of the future stuff was pretty cool, but then the bad.
Yeah.
Holy God, there was some, when it slowed down, man, when we talked about this earlier, it was so bad. The one scene in particular in the motel between Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor, where he is basically describing how he came to light of Sarah Connor, how she's the hero and everything, and
But the picture that he saw of John Connors and remembered every curve of her and like, and then he
you're bringing me back, JPar.
Say the line.
He delivers it.
Say the line, Myles.
No, I can't do it. It's too gross.
I came through time for you, Sarah. Oh,
No,
God, are you serious?
What I would have preferred is them to, you knew they were
He
going to
came
make love.
through time, all right.
Yeah, he came just in time. You know what I mean? What I would have preferred is if it would have just happened by accident.
That's how John Connor was made.
Yeah, no, I don't want to say like an oopsie baby, but what I want to say is
Kind of planned.
the way they set it up. Yeah, but it was planned by the son. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you gotta go back in time to bang
It's like,
my mom.
dude, I totally went back in time and banged your mom.
Yeah, you got one job, okay? Not to protect her, you gotta impregnate her. Okay, like it shouldn't.
You just gotta do this one thing for me, Kyle. Just this one thing, Reese. What is it? You gotta bang my mom.
The name of this
You gotta
movie.
be my daddy.
The name of the movie should have been changed from the Terminator
To Junior. Yeah.
to the Impregnator.
Did you read my notes?
No, I didn't read your notes.
That's exactly what I got
But
down
that's basically
here.
the whole point of the movie is we got to keep her alive long enough that Kyle Reese can slip in his time dink there and sprinkle some of his baby gravy and, Bob's your uncle. The rest of that story goes. I didn't like that motel crap. It was so forced and
Gave her the
borderline
Reese's Pieces,
rapey. Yeah, he
Rapey,
pieces
yeah.
of the
Reese's Pieces? Yeah, never mind.
Yeah,
Ate some of his Reese's Pieces.
melts in your hand. Not in your
And
mouth.
in your mouth.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
anyways,
that's where
we're getting
John-
off topic here.
Yeah, the characters were fodder. Kick them out. The cops, get rid of them. Even
The
Kyle
cops were
Reese-
fodder. They
Get
were
rid of
there
Kyle
and then they
Reese.
just weren't after, and it's like it didn't matter.
Kyle Reese needed less rapey lines.
Oh my
and
god.
then it would have been a
that
better
actor
movie.
killed me.
What year is it?
Yeah.
Run around naked.
You know, I
and
almost
shit.
should give it a 3 just for his bad performance. He was killing me.
Anyways, take it away, Clayton.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm going to start off with my worst then because I'm going to echo your thing about the hotel scene because I made a note about that. Like, it's the same thing. It's like, it's weird that Reese has a picture of Sarah long before the knee-jerk decision to send him back in time.
But it wasn't a knee-jerk mission,
But
was
it was. He says it was, and then they kind
But he
of
doesn't
retcon
realize it was planned.
But they kind of retcon the scene a little later on when it turns out that they
We're losing
do
him.
that in the scene, whatever. But anyways, they kind of tried to explain it in the hotel, but it doesn't really track from a logic
Well,
standpoint.
no, 'cause he's
It's
a
like,
bad actor.
hey, like John Connor, you can picture that conversation, like John Connor. Hey, ever see what a real woman looks like, Reese? You can have this one of my mom. You can keep it. It's pretty
And
creepy.
she's like talking to him. She's
It's-
like, "You never been with a woman?"
Yeah, it's creepy that
No.
you're actually my dad. I'm sending you back in time so you can pork my mom. And then you can teach her how to turn me into a great warrior so that I can in turn save you. So that I can send you back in time to pork my mom so that she can turn me into a great warrior. And, like, we have to keep the timeline clean so in order to, keep things
Oh, well,
pretty
fuck that.
simple.
By the time they get the Terminator
He's done a
Genesis...
banger over and over again.
Yeah, but we have to keep this clean, so I'm sorry, pal, but if you haven't noticed, I wasn't raised by my dad, so you're gonna die. You're not around, right? You know what I mean?
Every time you said that.
So you're also
Because
choosing
if
someone
Reese,
to die.
if Reese would have survived,
But
he's
you're
like,
sending them back to a
John's
better
like,
time that's
guess-
not controlled by machines.
That's true, but he sends Reese back, and Reese must work it out in his pea-sized brain.
Apparently, there's
That-
only like enough juice for one of them to go
no,
back in
no.
time.
But the point is that John was not raised by Reese and his mother and
Yeah.
Sarah. He was only raised by Sarah. So what happened to Reese?
He's dead.
He died. But that's the thing that Reese has to know when he goes back in time. He's like,
Yeah, he would have known. So you're gonna die by the Terminator, but
"Oh,
you're
I'm
gonna be my
lay
dad.
this super hot 1984
He's a soldier.
chick, and then I'm gonna die. Like, when's it gonna come? Like, you know what I
He
mean?
probably died a death that wasn't as horrible as the death that would have been in the future.
I don't know. He died a pretty
Yeah, but
horrible
this-
death by a pipe bomb. Like,
This
Yeah.
death is brought life that literally changed the outcome of the war.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
no, I'm
he
not saying
says
that,
that.
it wasn't a sacrifice. I'm just saying that it kind of, like, the whole thing is just kind of messed up. Like, okay, go back in time.
They
bang
kind
my
of touch
mom, and
upon
then die.
that in.
He says it.
They
Kyle
kind of
Reese
touch
says.
upon the salvation, right? When
Oh, whoa,
When-
whoa. This is
Okay, anyways, we're not gonna get into that.
We're not gonna
get
because
into
that's
that.
a whole
Terminator
other
one
one.
vacuum.
okay, well, let's get back.
Anyways,
Go back in time to
so yeah,
Terminator.
cringy's your worst.
Yeah, cringy is the worst, and the best is probably just the action scenes. I liked how Cameron cut all of the action scenes really
Yeah,
short.
he did cut the scenes good.
And Terminator was just utterly ruthless. The
Yeah.
only part that I didn't understand about it was that why is Terminator's aim so fucking god awful? When he's in the bar,
Because he's only the T101. He's not the
still, he's got a
T800.
targeting computer built into his eyeball. Like,
He doesn't even have face identification yet. Did you notice that?
No,
he had
but
to look
still,
at the
he's
fucking
just-
her ID to
to ID.
it's like, oh, that's
And
what
it-
Sarah Connor
it's a-
looks like. Oops.
Yeah, and it,
I killed-
I shot all
I-
those other people.
Oh no! I killed her friend and her boyfriend. Oh well.
The boyfriend put up quite a fight. Though.
Yeah,
I was
and,
pretty impressed.
and he looked pretty good in them little tight underwear there when he's running around the bedroom getting the crap knocked out of him.
I was thinking the same thing.
I-
It's so weird.
What did he tell Terminator? He's like, I'm gonna get rid of you or something, and he goes to hit him with a
A
lamp.
lamp,
The
yeah.
guy's like 300 pounds. Yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. But the time travel story, or no, my favorite part. Sorry, my favorite parts is the action sequences and the future sequences. Like, they didn't really need to go two balls out with special effects to make the future sequences work really well, because it was always night, it was always
Yeah.
dark, it was always low lit, and you just had chrome machines rolling over skulls and then you had the simulated laser blast or whatever. But the music was cool.
The music was cool too.
The effects like that they used in there were cool, and just the overall feel of that future was like, holy shit, man, we're in trouble. Like, it was pretty. Yeah, that was the biggest takeaway for me was like, holy man, the future is like messed up.
They had some nice transitions too. Like he's looking at the one piece of machinery in a gravel pit.
Yeah.
And then it spins around, the light goes on him, and then all of a sudden it's the light of a robot in the future.
HK
It's like,
unit,
cool.
Yeah,
Really
was
cool transitions.
Yeah, that was. All right, so that's your favorite and least favorite?
Yeah, mostly.
Did you say your least favorite?
Yeah, my least favorite's
Cringy crap.
that cringy hotel scene and anything basically having to do with
I
Michael
agree.
Biehn.
It might as well have taken place in a van without windows. You know? Screw the motel. Let's cut out the middle guy. Straight to the back of the van.
Back of van.
Yeah. Making pipe bombs and then laying pipe. You know what I mean? Shit.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, so my least favorite is definitely Kyle Reese. Like, the actor who plays Kyle Reese, he was just killing me in every scene, and especially the scene where he's talking to Linda Hamilton, and he's like describing like, oh, I remembered every curve and all this crap, and I came through time for you. Like, oh, he's such a bad actor. Even his first line, it's like the thing was he was the first like really bad thing, because I was getting into it. I was like, oh yeah, this is cool, and they were getting me into like the mood of the movie kind of thing. And then once he says his first two lines, he's just so over the top. Totally unbelievable. I'm like, you could have made that more believable, man.
Yeah.
And it's just like, ugh. I'm like, he's gonna be the bad thing about this movie, and he was. He was.
I can see myself like sitting down to watch this like as my 5-year-old self, or you as your 5-year-old self, and like seeing the credits and the letters and everything, be like, this is gonna be awesome. And eating popcorn on your like parents' couch there, and then all of a sudden Michael Biehn starts talking, and you're like, this is crap. I'm going outside.
Well, I mean, yeah. And then the lines he had with Linda Hamilton, like, there wasn't really good chemistry with them either. Like, he is definitely my least favorite part. And like you said, when it gets slow, it's really slow. So, I mean, there was definitely times where I caught myself not really paying attention. So I'm going to be brutally honest about that, even though it's a 3.5. Like I said, I give it extra credit just because it built on, it built a franchise, and James Cameron started something small. You got to take a look at it back in 84. Like, back in 84, it would be more like a 3.5 as opposed to a 3.
I think it'd be bigger than that in 84. Like, when it first came out, everybody was like, oh my god, the Terminator.
Well, that's why I give it that extra 0.5 anyways, because it did something, that hasn't been done before. A lot of the cool effects that James Cameron used, and you said the music was good. So what's my favorite? I just like seeing the old effects, I think. I think that's what it is. The future scenes were my favorite. And like you said, the way they cut the scenes was done really well. James Cameron is a master director, and the stuff that's good about this movie is all because of him. So I think that's probably my favorite. And that the fact that he's able to carry, at least he tries to carry on this Terminator legacy onto other movies and such.
You're talking about the special effects, though. One thing that I have to bring up, I don't know what they used for synthetic skin in the 80s, but it looks something akin to half-baked bread with plaster smeared over it. The Terminator scene in the hotel when he's doing the self-surgery, when he cuts out his eyeball, they just felt the need to get really close up on his face, and it looks horrendously fake. And I've seen a lot of other movies around that time where it's the same thing, and I don't know why they can't nail skin right back then. Even when he's working on his arm on the table, and you see his hand, it looks like, what the hell?
The effects are definitely dated, but I mean, for the effects back then, it was good.
Oh man,
right?
even when I saw
it was
that
good
when
effects
I was a
back
kid,
then.
I was like, no, this is crap. It reminded me of,
really?
It reminded me of the cyborg sections of the movie Cyborg with Jean-Claude Van Damme. You ever seen those? They are bad. And it's the same thing. I don't know what that skin texture is, but it does not bounce like... It looks dead. Like, it looks like cadaver skin or something. It's weird.
So why... Okay, so
and
why...
sweaty all the time.
So why'd you give it, why is it 3.5 then for you?
Just that one. I'm just pointing out that one special effect.
Oh,
the skin makes me cringe. It's weird. It just weirds me out. It didn't weird you out, man?
Well, it didn't look. No, I knew it wasn't real. Like, you could tell by looking at it.
It just seemed unnecessary. They kept zooming in on his
That's
face.
what I mean. They were like,
and there was a fly. There was a fly on his head, and he's like trying to look at the fly or something, and while he's doing surgery, I'm like, why are they showing
what's
his
with the eye?
face with the fly? I don't get
They
this.
tried to make his face look more real, so they have
It was
his eye
extra
moving
cheese.
around, but it's
Yeah.
like he looked like you said, it looks like he's looking at a fly on his forehead. He's like,
Yeah, no, I swear there was a fly. There had to have been. I remember a fly.
I hope there was.
I'm not watching the
I hope
movie
there was
again.
because his eyes was gonna look pretty
I'm
weird.
not watching it again to
look
see
at
if
the
there was a
special
fly.
edition where they edited in a fly on his face.
Yeah, director's cut.
Now it makes
Did it
sense.
have anything to do with his auto-targeting system?
No, he's just sitting in the bathroom in a mirror, cutting his own
just
eye
cut
out
his
of
eye
his
out.
head. But they're like, the camera is like dead square in his face. It's a super close up. They're like, look at what we can do. And it's like, yeah, that's not.
I don't
so-
understand that because there was one moment in the movie where he didn't have his sunglasses on and he had that, like it was him, it was Arnold.
Yeah.
With just that piece.
In the vehicle, in the
yeah,
truck.
they did
Later
that.
on-
That was fine.
Later on, when he gets run over by the truck, and then he kills the driver, and then he takes over the truck to go and run over Sarah and Reese. They show him in the truck with the metal on his face, with the
It
eye,
was
and
him.
It looks legit.
Yeah.
Like it's
I don't
his
know
face.
why they didn't just
It was
keep
li-
using that.
Exactly.
I know, that's what I mean.
That's
Like
the
that-
point. It's like we saw the loaf of bread with the eyeball in the motel, and then you fast forward maybe 20 minutes, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, the
Yes, you
budget
think we
kicked
changed
in
it
All of
again.
a sudden, yeah, it just got so much better.
All right,
Yeah.
maybe the effects aren't so good. I give it a 3.
Wow, you gotta keep your
Just
rating.
kidding.
That 0.5 is
Just
just
kidding.
sitting on the teeter-totter.
Just
And,
kidding.
And he seems to take the long way around with the approach to trying to terminate Sarah later on. Like, he goes for the kill every chance he gets, and then at the end, he's got, like, they wipe him out on the motorbike, then he gets run over by the semi-truck. Then they flip the truck over on the bridge, and they're upside down. They're inside. Reese is messed up, and they are, like, pinned in the truck. They can barely get out. So instead of standing up and walking over and just popping them both in the head with a gun, he has this elaborate plan to get back up out from underneath the semi, walk to the front of the truck, kill the driver, get in the truck, turn the truck around, and come back down the road and run into the Bronco or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like, why? Why? Like, for cinematography or for excitement purposes or whatever. But seriously, from a machine standpoint, I would have been like, there they are. Tune ahead.
I gotta say this. Also, the end's pretty good for like compared to like other movies back then for suspense. It's like usually you know like
think he's dead.
they do it twice.
Yeah, they do it
They
twice.
do it twice. Okay. He like blew up in that transport. He's got to be done. And they even play the music like they kind of get you twice with it, and they do it well. I noticed like there's a lot of movies that do that, and you're like, oh, he's so gonna jump back up.
Yeah.
This one twice they do it. You don't see it coming, right?
Yeah. Yeah, when she
The
got
creepy
into that-
crawly scene there where she's going through the metal compactor. It's
That was
like,
cool.
Oh, no. Yeah, it was cool.
There's anything I can remember from old viewings of that movie, because that's why it's been so long for me since I've seen it. It reminded me of what horror films did back then too, like build that suspense before you realize that it's already upon you. They did that well with this one, I remember.
Yeah. The end scene's probably like the best part.
Yeah, that's
Well, that and the future scenes. I like the future scenes a lot too.
and they leave it so that you know that the nuclear war is still going to happen. Like,
Yeah.
the one good thing, and I have to kind of mention the second movie when I talk about this, is that they wrote the entire time travel story, the story of Skynet, and the story of the human resistance, and they lay it all out in the first one. But once you've seen the second one, you realize that there are holes in the first one that Cameron comes back and actually fills in. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Reese only has information about the human resistance and about John Connor and about all they say is that Skynet was a tactical computer that suddenly stopped differentiating allies from enemies and then just started trying to kill everybody.
Yeah, they get more
But
into
in
it
the
in Skynet.
second one, they actually tell you, oh, humans actually struck first because they got scared, right? So he comes back and he like fills up a lot of those holes really neatly.
Yeah.
Also, the doctor, Silverman, there's a scene at the police station right before Arnold comes in and royally fucks it up, where Silverman is walking out the door, and he does this kind of like half spin as he goes out the door, and he is literally standing back to back as the Terminator is coming into the police station.
Yeah.
And then in the second movie, Silverman never actually saw the Terminator. So when he sees the footage on the video camera, he doesn't recognize him. And he doesn't actually meet him until the third one. But he's actually been in the same room with him more than once.
Okay.
Right? Do you remember that part?
Yeah, I think I remember, yeah.
Because he's, right after he...
Talk about Terminator 3, you told me not to talk about Salvation.
No, but I'm saying... Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that Silverman's actually the only character other than Arnold to appear in all three movies.
Okay.
The first three movies. Trivia.
Sounds legit.
Sounds legit.
He was a
Yeah,
dick.
sure.
I'm glad he got stabbed in the knee with a pen.
All right, so
Do you guys want to hear any more things like that?
what do you, things like that?
Things like
If you want to hear more things like that, press subscribe below, kids.
Okay, so now, like I was just talking to Dave about this earlier. The fact that Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 are very much part of
They feel very connected compared to the other
parts
ones.
of the same
yeah,
movie,
the other
yeah.
ones seem like it's just other people's ideas.
And Linda Hamilton's actually she's a good actress, and the transformation.
That's the only two she's in too.
Yeah, but the transformation between the Sarah Connor of the first movie and the Sarah Connor of the second movie is absolutely mind blowing.
Oh, I know.
Like, and you still believe that she's the same person. Like, you still believe that she's Sarah Connor, but she is so different in the second one. Years have gone by. She's a hardened warrior. She took everything that Reese taught her to heart. She's not a fluffy-haired poodle bimbo
Well,
anymore.
she does have fluffy hair, but
in the second one, she's got it back in the ponytail. She's doing
awesome.
chin-ups off of her bed.
She'll kick your fucking ass in the second one. She'll break your fucking nose.
Well, only like what?
And inject you with Javex.
Yeah, exactly. Only like 7 or 8 years have passed, and they not only has the actress herself transformed, but the character is transformed, and it's just.
Did she ever get fit for that role?
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, she looks feral. Like, she's damn near animalistic in the second one. She's awesome though.
She does a wicked job in the second one.
Yeah.
This is just beginning of something great for her.
And you can sort of tell, too, at the end of the first movie, she was changing.
Yeah.
And Kyle Reese brings it up. He's like, I wanted to know what was going through your head when this picture was taken.
Yeah.
Because you look so stoic. You look so deadpan. And then you realize it's because she just went through all this fucking shit. She saw all these people die. She realized my son's going to save the world one day. The world's going to go to shit. That's what's on her fucking mind.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a cool... We see the transition.
The flip over.
She's no longer that person serving tables. Now she has a different purpose in life to prepare for post-apocalyptic war.
The funny thing is, though, too, is that when Reese is describing the picture that John had given him, he's like, it was old, torn, ripped around the edges, a little bit faded. But when you see him looking at it in the compound, it looks like the exact same picture that Sarah took at the gas station.
Okay.
It looks like it's 5 minutes old. Seriously.
So that's the picture that John ends up having.
Yeah, that's the one that he ends up giving to Reese. That's the picture that she takes at the end at the gas station. But it's just funny because he's just perving out on this.
So what if it was like Back to the Future and he sent himself back instead?
John? Oh my God! Well,
we're going back to the future, John.
I thought about that going in. I'm like, okay, is this really Kyle Reese or is this John Connor? But then Kyle Reese started getting creepy and weird. I'm like, okay.
So yeah, I looked at that picture.
This is definitely not your son. But yeah, that would be a completely different movie, but cool at the same time. But that whole time paradox shit.
Terminator.
I don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
All right, final thoughts, folks.
Definitely watch this movie. You guys gave it that extra 0.5 because it started a franchise. I couldn't do that, but it was still a good movie when it was
I think it's
action-packed.
Cameron's direction that gives me the extra point. If it wasn't for his direction that made it connect to the second one so well, it wouldn't be as good. But because James Cameron's direction his hands were all over this, that's why I give it that extra point.
The way I look at
Plus
Terminator
Canadian.
2... The way I look at Terminator 2 is they watch Terminator 1 and they're like, okay, we can't have this creepy crap anymore.
Yeah, we can't
have to have relevant characters.
Creepy Kyle
And
Reese
we have to
anymore.
improve on the special effects. And when it slows down, it's got to be funny.
It's like...
And that's what it was.
Let's take
it was
this.
perfect.
Yeah.
Oh,
I loved
they
it.
Take
saw
this
those-
and crank it up
they
to
saw it,
11.
They're like, okay, we got gold here. It's getting good reviews.
Yeah.
What can we do to bring it to 11? boom, they nailed it. Terminator 2.
They saw the slow
Judgment
points and
Day.
they're like, something needs to be there. Like, we have to have something as opposed to, nothing.
There's
There's
a flame here, and you can see that, and it ignited, it combusted in Terminator 2. But this one, you could see why it was so popular, why it made a franchise.
Yeah.
It was just when it was slow. Oh no!
Yeah, when it was slow, it was real slow.
Get your Candy Crush ready, because you're not gonna
Yeah.
want to watch your
Yeah,
TV at that point.
You're gonna be like, this
Holy
Kyle
crap.
Reese character, these lines, what is
Yeah.
Guys
with
just
this
ripping
guy?
him, man. Like,
Earplugs.
he sucks, but
Oh, why is it the Kyle Reese?
He was
again?
the worst.
Yeah.
He was the worst part for me. Every time there was a scene with him talking with Sarah, it was just like, oh, this guy again. Just stop talking, buddy.
Yeah, you gotta see where the franchise started. Yeah.
He's just too intense, and then even when he's intense, I don't even believe him. Like, it's like, you're not selling it to me.
Okay, well, my last thought about this movie, and it's the thing that I always think of when it comes to these like futuristic type movies, and I thought the same thing about The Matrix. If Skynet is a tactical military,
I got one more thing to say about Kyle Reese. Sorry. It's no wonder they got Jai Courtney to play him in Genesis, because
Oh
Jai
my
Courtney was at least
God.
one step above this guy.
No, he wasn't.
At least Jai Courtney can somewhat act compared to
He's got
this
a
guy.
mouth that looks like it's melting off the bottom of his jaw. It's weird.
It was.
man.
I'm not saying it was a huge step up. I'm just saying it was a slight step up. It's like, you know what, Jai Courtney, maybe it's not so bad when I could comparable to this guy, to creepy Kyle in the first one. Anyways, go on. What you're gonna say?
What I was gonna say is, if Skynet is a military tactical genius, if it's managed to bring the entire world to its knees, then why does it never realize the one distinct advantage that it has over the humans that it's trying to subdue?
It's
And
time
that is
travel.
chemical warfare.
Time travel.
Why doesn't they could completely destroy the atmosphere of Earth and the machines would not have a problem thriving. They could completely wipe out the human race and never fire a shot. Why do they never? You know what I mean? And I mean, obviously, it would be like the shortest sci-fi movie if that actually happened.
They kind of already did do that in Terminator 2.
And I feel like you kind of touched upon it with your Matrix comment. In the Matrix, they wipe out the humans, but
Yeah.
they keep them alive.
Right.
They just
For-
keep
for
recycling.
batteries.
Yeah, they just keep
Yeah,
recycling
but-
that false hope.
But those humans are in chambers. Yeah, they keep the false hope.
And
going.
that's
Yeah,
all it is
true.
is they
That's
just
true.
keep the
But
fight going.
This one here, there's no reason why Skynet can't take out the humans.
I
The
haven't-
only reason
No, they
keep-
said that they did use them
They
as
do.
slaves for something.
They use them,
I don't
to
know what it
pile
was.
bodies. Who gives a shit? Who cares about the bodies?
I'm sure there's other stuff they get
And
them
there's
to do.
bodies, like, make a couple million Terminators and be like, okay, go pick those bodies up. What, are they going to be like, no, boss, I don't want to? No, they're Terminators.
They're
gonna do what
Terminators,
they're
not
told.
gatherers.
Who cares?
I
they're
feel like-
programmed. Hey, pick up that person and load them into that.
I am Bender, please insert girder.
Yeah, exactly. Bender bending Rodriguez, just make a million of those. The point is that from a military, like a tactical standpoint, it's the single biggest advantage that they have. The machines don't breathe. They don't need oxygen. They have metal skin. They can take whatever's in the air, right? They gotta
Yes.
wipe them out. They gotta wipe them out.
I think in the
Skynet, you're dumb.
they treat humans like ants. I think in the post-apocalyptic world, if they lose a robot, who gives a shit? We'll build 3, right? It doesn't really matter. It's a game, and they always know they're ahead.
But actually,
It kind of is, because
But-
if you look at the movies, they keep going further
They keep
back.
going.
And
They never.
Well,
that
no,
is
actually,
one-
no. They go forward and then they go backwards.
But look at the
you look at
trend
Genesis.
in all these Terminator movies. They never really win.
No,
they
they never do.
Both
Nobody
sides.
ever wins.
No one wins.
No one ever
No.
wins.
The
But that's
Terminator
because
dies,
it feels
okay,
like
but it's in the
Skynet pulls
past.
back. Like the Skynet
It didn't
could-
change the future.
If I sitting here,
Both sides
could
keep
just come up with
recalculating.
that-
Yes.
Yeah, but if I sitting here could come up with that, because that's a game-ending move, man. Chemical warfare,
So it's time travel.
If they want to kill
time travelers
all
as well. Yeah, why did they even bother? Like, why not go back to the?
Why not go
1800s?
back to like Sarah's like distant relative and just like, bam?
I think. Well, if they go too far back, they might end up affecting their
that's true.
own.
That's true.
Their
And
own
how do you
evolution.
calculate? Yeah, exactly. How do
Yeah.
you calculate that butterfly effect?
Yeah.
It was the quickest, safest place to go back to, but still, even that's convoluted compared to the idea of just chemical warfare and just bombing and gassing them. Like,
It all comes down to the end game of
And-
the robots. I don't
and-
really know if you get that. Do
and
you
Reese-
get? I haven't seen Genesis.
Yeah,
Reese
no one
is-
no one
do they
knows
ever
what's
get that?
not really.
They
It's
do,
just
they
that
do.
Do they talk
do,
about
but it's
the end game
it's
for the
really
robots?
weak. It's a weak plot. It's this idea that
I feel like in Salvation, there was a moment with the guy who thought he was human that was a cyborg.
Yeah, that
he
was
was
a
talking to the computer, and I feel like their banter kind of touched on that. What
Yeah,
the end
I
game
know what
was.
you're talking about.
What
yeah.
Skynet plans to do after
Or
everything's
why
settled.
they haven't really just killed all the humans. Why are they leaving pockets of humans
See,
everywhere?
yeah, but this movie can't rely on that. This movie
I
can't
know they
rely on a
can't
movie
rely
that
on
came out 20 years later, right? So I'm just
Well,
talking about
they're trying to
just the-
assimilate us, right? Is that the thing? They're kind of like
assimilate or assimilate.
assimilate. What did I say?
Assimilate.
Whatever. Assimilate.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sorry, just correcting.
Yeah, they,
Thanks, fact check person.
Well, assimilate is not a word.
Did you have to look that one up?
you used are not
Okay. Anywhoots. Is that final thoughts?
Yeah.
yeah,
Watch the movie.
pretty much.
See
I
how
mean, if you've
franchise
seen
gets
the
started.
second one's amazing. If you haven't seen that, then what the heck are you doing? Watch that movie. That is like one of the most action-packed, jammed, suspenseful movies I've seen. And it just keeps going. And like, you know how they did it with the Terminator, where twice you thought it was going to be dead? Well, in Terminator
Yeah.
2, it just keeps going like that.
It keeps going.
It's great. But yeah, if you want to know where they came from when they made Terminator 2, then go back and see this one, Terminator.
Yeah. My review for Terminator 1 is go watch Terminator 2. That's.
But you gave it a 3.5.
I did.
All right,
Because
so
still a lot of good things to see in that movie.
if you like this show and you want to see more content or listen to more content such as this, then you can check us out. We have a TV show on Eastlink called Late Night Tickets. We're also on demand. We're at 10 on Channel 10, a local Sudbury area, 10 o'clock on Monday. And you also check us out demand if you're not in the Sudbury area. And we got good news. We're going to be starting Season 2, folks.
Season 2.
So that's going to be great.
We're going to assimilate so many things.
Simulate.
And inseminate.
Yeah.
Kyle Reese. He's back.
Chemical last time.
Yeah.
Oh, that calories. You can follow us on Twitter. Always join the conversation at We Promise Nothing. Drop the G. Give us a big old like on Facebook because we like when you do that. And we want you to like, subscribe, and share this video. And yeah, you can leave a comment below. This is JPar signing out.
This is Myles.
I'll be back.
Yeah. And bye.
Hasta la vista.
See, I can't think. Just not.
Come
on,
on,
I'm not
Terminator,
on
man.
my feet today. I'm telling you.
on?
Like we just watched Terminator. That's
I know.
where
I
Hasta La
just
Vista-
watched it.
Weird.
I'll come back.
Did you want to say bye, Boo?
Who's your daddy?
And what does he do?
What does he do?
But Dabu's going bye-bye, I guess.
All right, and if you disagree with anything you heard on the show today, you can leave a comment below. And even if you like something, you can leave a comment below. But as always, we
promise nothing.
Good night.
Rubber
Good
baby
night.
buggy bumpers.
Get out of here.
Hasta la vista.
Hello.
It's not a tumor.